First off, I want you to think about your loved one that's sick or dying in the hospital, and their only savior is trying to get an organ donation for them to get better. But they're only put on the waiting list. Now I want you to think about the same situation, but they were able to get that organ transplant, and they were able to avoid being sick or even avoid death at all costs. Has anyone ever heard or needed someone, or ever heard or anyone that needed an organ transplant? A couple people? Okay. My name is Lexi Hilger, and I'm a nursing student here at Alfred State College. So I'm very familiar with organ transplants. When I was in the 8th grade, I went through a traumatic experience with my grandma and my aunt. They both were very sick. My grandma had a rare autoimmune disease that tore apart her liver and made her liver fail. So she needed to have a liver transplant right away. My aunt had liver cancer. She went through chemo and radiation, and that didn't work. So she needed a liver transplant also. She was at the point of her last rites where she was given to them by a priest, but at the very last moment, she was given the chance to live and got that liver transplant. She now is fully recovered and owns a personal fitness gym and trains many people. On average, one person is added to a waiting list every 10 minutes, and each day about 18 people die because they don't have an organ for them. Now, think about if that was one of your loved ones or someone that was very close to you. How would you feel about that if they weren't able to get an organ? Through organ donation, you can save up to 8 lives, and with tissue donation, you can enhance the lives of many. Organ donation can be either from a living or deceased, and it can be tissues, a heart, lungs, kidneys, pancreas, a liver, the intestines, skin, bone marrow, or even the cornea. There's a variety of organs that can be donated. People of every age can be a donor and can be donated to, such as infants that are just born to people that are 100 years old or even people that have died. And also any race can be an organ donor. By deciding to be a donor, you can give the gift of hope for the thousands of individuals waiting for organ transplants, and hope for the millions of individuals whose lives could be enhanced through tissue transplants. The most viable donors are head trauma, stroke, or someone that has died from an aneurysm, because these are not the affected organs that you can donate. When a patient dies or is near the death, the hospital contacts the local organization, the procurement organization, which is the donation organization, and finds a candidate that best fits for the donation. They call it that candidate and they seek the consent to get. Once the consent is received, they will get the medical history, the blood type, the tissue type, the height, the weight, and the location of where the donor lives, and if they've had any past illnesses recently. You may think that if you do donate, then you won't be able to have an open casket funeral, or you won't be able to have a normal funeral like everyone else. But that doesn't interfere with this. If you do get a donation from a deceased, the body is not affected at all. It's completely clothed for the burial, so there's no visible signs of organ or tissue donation. And if you get a donation from a living, then it's just like a regular surgery. And most importantly, most insurances do cover this cost. So after the death of the donation, the families won't have to worry about the cost of this expensive surgery. And once you sign up for organ donation, you want to make sure that you inform your family and your loved ones of your wishes, and if you have a living will, then I would put it down in your living will so that everyone knows your wishes. So at this time, I ask that, since most of you aren't 21 yet, but you will be within the next year, that when that date does come around, you need to renew your license, then please be an organ donor and save the lives of many. You can do this by going to the DMV or simply by visiting your state's organ donor registry. And in New York, this website is www.donatelife.net. All you need to do is check the box that says you want to be an organ donor, which is on the thing. It's when you're filling out the sheet, it's just a little green box that you just need to put an X mark in that says, yes, I want to be a donate, and on your license, it will come on to your license right underneath your picture, and it'll have a little sign that says organ donor. And by doing this, gives you the chance to save many lives. Thank you.